What's up, friends? Welcome to the Youth Gone Mild podcast. I am your host, Gen X Joe. As I'm on my journey to find new music, new bands, instead of the classic 80s and 90s band, I found a really cool band. Now, this couple is making great music together. When other couples like myself and my wife just seem to argue over the smallest things like what to watch on Netflix or where we're going to eat, these two don't even seem to argue over chord progressions and key changes. And that's what makes this band rock. The band that I am speaking of is called The Fa. The F-A. Yes, you heard me right. The Fa. This is a genre-defying alternative rock band. We've got Amy Faithe, a powerhouse vocalist, lyricist, and I just have to say, her voice can break your heart and rebuild it in the same breath. It's no wonder she is turning heads nationally, and once you hear her voice, you'll understand why. And then there's her partner in life and in rock, Mike Araiza. He is a renowned guitarist with a resume that reads like a who's who in rock royalty. I mean, we're talking working with Dave Meniketti of Y&T, Frank Hannon of Tesla, the legendary DickyBetts of the Allman Brothers Band, Rick Derringer, Clint Lowery of Sevendust. I could go on. And together, Amy and Mike just blend classic rock sensibility with some fresh, new creativity. Before I get into the interview, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Celebrity Events by Lisa Gandia. Allow me to welcome to the Wherever I May Roam studio my interview with Amy and Mike of The Fa.
Besides this, what are you doing today?
Actually, I took the day off work from my full-time job to actually do this.
We appreciate that so much.
No, it's no problem.
That sounds like a great day. Where do you live? Where are you out of?
Pittsburgh area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, great. Is it cold out there? Or what's the weather like?
not today. But Pennsylvania weather, I know you guys are out in the Arizona area, so out here one day it can be 85 degrees and the next day 25. So,
Oh,
yeah.
just at any point in the year or just specifically for the winter, right?
Anytime from October through April, we could have days of 70 degrees, and then next thing you know, it's frost on the ground and snowing, and then the next day it all melts and you're back in shorts again. So,
Crazy. Seems like the weather everywhere has gotten so weird because even out here, it's like we had like no winter. It's Mike.
hey, Jody said I was really going to enjoy this interview with you guys.
We hope so.
Yeah, I have no doubt. You guys pronounce yourself.
Yeah, the fall.
I like that. I like that because, as I was researching for Faith, and I'm going to pronounce your last name wrong, Mike. How is it?
Sure. Araiza.
Araiza. Good thing I didn't even attempt to pronounce it. So,
Yeah.
and then also, some of the things that I seen, which was really cool, is from the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, and then, of course, the FA from Family. It said that you guys just kind of all combined that together. Amy, I got to say, I was watching some of your YouTube videos, and I hope you go along with this, but I was seeing how you were warming up on cold days. You were just singing like opera. You think you could give us a little bit of that to open up the podcast?
Right now?
If you want to. I'm just putting you on the spot, though, but that's all right.
Oh, mio bambino caro, mi piace bello.
Wow. That is amazing.
Thank you.
So you have that operatic background, or is that just something that you just do?
Well, I am not officially classically trained. I'm pretty much self-taught. I've had a few little things over the years, but I was drawn to the operatic expression at a young age and tried it out. And I had the abilities to, in the range. I mean, I started as a high soprano when I was in choir in school. And so it just kind of was there. And I played off of it and just learned my technique by listening to singers and operatic pieces and things. And it's just something that I've developed, from a young age.
I wish I could sing like that. I mean, I never really got into opera music. And then I met my wife, and she started having me go to plays, the Phantom of the Opera, you name it. And I just got a new respect for that style of music.
It's, honestly, it's the most difficult kind of singing is classical, because your technique has to be spot on and able to, go up and down the range and the different parts of the range. The technique is imperative. So I have so much respect for it too. And I don't claim to be, a maestro as a classical singer. I do it, I can do it, and I enjoy being able to use it to warm up and sing some of my favorite theater songs and operatic pieces. But yeah, it's an incredible respect.
So, from what I understand, both of you have come from wildly different musical worlds. What was the moment you both realized that the fa was something worth pursuing?
It was gosh, that's kind of hard to answer because it's always evolving with the creativity. But I think if we're talking about an aha moment,
Right.
we started a couple like side projects, like just kind of like things that weren't really like heavily pushed. It wasn't the fa yet. And we decided that, boy, how lucky are we? Like this is, I mean, we're a couple. We both love being artists. We're hyper creative. And what do you mean by hyper creative? We love to do it. That's what we're constantly doing. Let's go for it. And it
Yeah.
was that's really it.
It
Yeah.
just took on a life of its own. Like we wrote our first song and things started gaining some traction and we fell so in love with the process and we really realized that we had so much chemistry together musically
Right.
that we're like, we really need to dive into this and see what this can become.
From the Song of Devour, man, that is just like hardcore. Like for me, I loved it. It was like an alternative mix with hard rock and metal. I mean, that and your voice, Amy, oh my God. I mean, it just captures everything for me.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed putting that one
Yeah.
together and really that kind of spawned the beginning of kind of a more honed in direction of like an alternative uh, realm. And since then we've created Scarlet Letter and we're on to some other things.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
Yeah, and I think the Scarlet Letter is your next release, correct? If it's not already out.
yep,
Most recent. Yeah.
yep.
So our philosophy, like we're moving at like a different pace. We're not running a legacy pace of like put an album out. Uh, and we're going to get more aggressive with our releases here soon, but we're, you know, constant creativity and putting it out and creating one thing we don't want is like a catalog that's 30 years old. We want our catalog to grow with us and to change with us and to be a living, breathing thing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're being very aggressive with that. We're going to continue.
Now, Mike, you worked alongside a lot of legends, DickyBetts, Pat Travers, Dave Meniketti. How did those
Yeah,
experiences shape your approach to writing and recording with Amy?
that's a great question. I think, when you're granted the privilege to work with legends in the music business, um, you can see some best practices of why they've been in the business for so long. And a lot of it is honestly, it comes down to sincerity. That's one of the biggest things I've learned from being around um, the great late DickyBetts, of course, Dave Meniketti, and the list goes on and on of people I've been privileged to work with. Sincerity. That's the number one thing I took away. Um, of course, you see that sincerity, honestly, it's forever growing and it will always be marketable if there's such a thing. And so that's who we are. That's our goal is to be sincere with everything we do.
And Amy, your lyrics, they're almost like poetic and emotionally raw. Where do you draw from?
That's a cool question. I've been writing it. It did begin with poetry for me. I started writing poetry like 7 years old. I had journals and I was just write my thoughts and feelings and emotions. So I definitely have uh, that's kind of my personality, is to kind of dive deep and emote and express. Some of it's autobiographical. Some of it I will hear a word or see a sign that's got a phrase, and it will kind of give me um, a title to a song or a theme to a song that I want to write. And then from there, it could be totally imagined. And sometimes it's a mixture of all of it. But obviously, we all want to write things that people will relate to and find something in for themselves. So, and I think in all cases, people will find something in your music. But yeah, definitely it has an emotive piece to it, very uh, capturing and dynamic in that way. So yeah, it happens in a variety of ways.
So do you bring more of the songwriting ideas, Amy, to Mike, or is it kind of an equal balance?
It's really equal. I mean, sometimes, a lot of the time, Mike will come up with a really cool riff, and I'll hear it. I write all the vocal melodies and the lyrics, so I'll hear his riff and just I'll hear something in my head, and we'll just put it down. Sometimes I'll have a title and say, "Hey, we need to write a song. It's going to be titled this," and then he'll kind of go into his space and find a riff that resonates with the title or theme of the song. So it's collaborative for sure.
Yeah. You know, for us, and I think most songwriters are on the same page. I can't speak for everybody, but it's like being an artist is a gift. Actually, just being a person is a gift, of course, right?
Hmm.
Um, Being here is a tremendous gift. And when you're fortunate enough to get something to come to you from the universe that ends up being a song, you roll with it. And so if you're trying to like force it, and the document of like artists trying to force a song always ends up being a bad news. So it's this natural thing that where you reverberate and you're in tune with where all music comes from and it flows. And that's where we really like to live. Of course, we've had the situations where we'll try to force something, but we've found and we make it more of a practice to be more carefree with it and let it come, let it,
Right itself.
write itself if it would.
I mean, that's a good approach to take, absolutely, instead of it just being like a bubblegum type of song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. We like depth. We like
Yeah.
emotional depth. We like to make people think, of course, feel, and then the rawness, the raw aspect is important to us, especially in today's world where everything, so many things are just feel homogenized, in whatever you're talking about. So we just like to get down to the nitty gritty and give people that raw thing. So yeah, and our tastes change too as we get
Yeah.
older, we evolve, I should say, we grow, and but yeah, totally.
At this juncture, I really think that, this is the one of the greatest times because um, it's up to the artist to do whatever they want to do, and they have everything that they can do it all themselves. They can photography, videography, production, songwriting, management, and it's just and each artist can decide what level they want to expose themselves, and there's no one sending feedback on the songwriting. Say, well, maybe not this, maybe that one, or you need more of this. You need to sound like this. Everybody can choose how they sound like from top to bottom and left to right. A lot of artists that are legacy created their own style and are, of course, well known for that, which is great. But I would not trade where we're at right now for anything.
Yeah, and what you just described, I mean, you can bring that vision of the song and whatever else you want to relate with that message to fruition without having any type of someone giving you feedback and maybe missing what the true meaning is.
Definitely.
Right.
Your live shows, I heard you guys are unforgettable live. I mean, it's just an experience. What do you want someone who may have never seen you guys before to feel by the end of a set?
I think the powerful thing about music is it is an escape, whether you're watching a live show or listening through your headphones or through the radio. The live element of anything is unlike anything else, to be able to really feel that energetic exchange. As you mentioned, as we talked about, our catalog is very emotionally driven, whether it be through the music and riffs or lyrically and or both. And we just want to charge people with the ability to feel and to go somewhere that they haven't been, or that escape that they're needing, to uplift. That's a huge piece of
Right.
it. We want to touch people and uplift them and maybe put them in touch with feelings and emotions that they haven't uh, expressed or even acknowledged. It's just such a beautiful way to heal. There's nothing like it.
Right.
Nothing else does what music does. And so we want people to walk out of there feeling moved, touched, and changed and wanting more. And of course, we love to really connect with our audience and with our fans. And we're real people, and we're all real people. And we just want to share our gift and be able to have that exchange.
Yeah, rock and roll is unique because it's for everyone, and it also has like no rules. Like, you if it's band like Nine Inch Nails, or if it's, Blink 182, the list goes, that's rock and roll, and it's for everybody. And, us, you and I are the same age, growing up in the late 70s and 80s, going to concerts. It was just the next day, seeing someone at high school or school with the concert shirt as, oh, I was there, right? That
Right.
this
Yeah.
this rock and roll is very unique because it's it's universal, and everybody speaks it. Everybody can move, everybody can, get up, and there's nothing else like that on this planet. It's a very unique fraternity, if you would, and it's everybody's welcome. And so with that, we just like everybody to feel uplifted, and that everything else that is has a cacophony, and everything else that is, just so negative. It goes away.
Yeah.
It goes away to me when we get in the car and put on some music. It doesn't matter what band it is, man. If it's vibing, it's just like everything just releases. It's like you get to catch your breath, and
Yeah.
you get to find who you are, and what our goal is.
Yeah.
And Kiss sang it best. God gave rock and roll to you.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yep.
And going back to your live shows, you guys have Sean McNabb and Richie Rivera. How did those relationships come about for them to be in the band?
Well, Mike had known Richie from
Yeah,
years back, so he had a rapport with him, which was awesome. When we invited him to come down and play with us, it was again a supernatural piece to the puzzle.
yeah,
He's a great performer, and so yeah, prior relationships, and we've
yeah.
been able to develop and continue to. We've got something coming up
Right,
actually with both of them. So
right. Yeah,
um we've been lucky enough to have great people around us, and inviting them into our project and what
yeah.
we're working on.
Hmm.
That's awesome. And you guys, friends with Ron Keel. I mean, he's a legend in himself. What's it like working with Ron as well?
Man, I mean, gosh, how much time do we have? I mean, Ron Keel is. I'm really I'm hard. It's hard to find words, because any way that I would verbalize something would not reach the level of who he is as a person, which is beyond excellence. He's got high standards, and he's an amazing just rock and roll figure. If you talk about God gave rock and roll to you, Ron Keel is that one of those heavy, not a link in the chain. He's one of the gears that created rock.
And he's such a
Yeah.
hardworking guy. I mean, he's just continues to go full speed, and he's a great inspiration. It was amazing to work with him. I got an opportunity to do a duet with him, and to share the stage with him and sing with him was really an amazing experience. Yeah, he's someone that I think any upcoming musician and artist would absolutely look up to. His work ethic is incredible, and
Beyond.
he's a great friend to us,
Yeah.
great friend and mentor, and we're grateful to have him in our lives.
Again, it goes back to like that thing. He's very sincere,
Yeah.
sincerity. Like that's why he's been in the business for so long and is still successful and is still putting out amazing music.
Good to hear that there are a lot of good guys out there in rock and roll. Now, if the FA could open for any artist, and I'm going to exclude Ron Keel, living or from rock history, who would you guys want to open up for?
Metallica.
Yeah.
For me, I can speak for me. I mean, I remember getting the first cassettes of Metallica. I was fortunate to see them with Cliff Burton.
Oh my,
Uh,
oh dude,
yeah,
really?
yeah, and then I saw him on the
Oh,
Black. Well, I saw him on the Justice tour. I saw him on the Black Album tour, and just the way that they approach their sincerity. There's no other band that's more transparent than Metallica that I can think of. I'm sure there are. If there's any, let us know in the comments. Um, and I honestly can't think of off the top of my head of any other band that plays more than them. I mean, their rehearsals, they got their tuning room. I mean, they're always on their game, always on their game, and
They're
they're
raw.
raw.
Love
Yeah,
that. They're
oh yeah,
unapologetically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unapologetically raw. And like that's obviously something that's, a common thread for us too. And yeah,
yeah,
brothers. And we'd
yeah.
be grateful and love to do it. But if you're asking like the top, I think immediately it goes to Metallica. Um,
Maybe that'll come to fruition one day.
are you listening, lovers?
Yeah,
There
Let's
you go.
rock. Yeah.
Maybe Ron can make that happen for you guys.
Anything's
maybe.
possible.
Yeah.
Now, what does success look like for you guys in maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, or you just kind of want to do what you're doing right now?
Oh man, touring the world. I mean, for both of us, as much as we love being in the studio, and we do because we love songwriting, being on stage, there's nothing quite like it. As we talked about, that energetic exchange, being witness to touching and moving other people the way that music does. I mean, it's the greatest gift of being an artist, honestly, to be
Yeah.
witness of that. It's beautiful to hear from your audience what you do for them and how you touch them, but like as artists, there's nothing quite like being a witness to the faces and the emotions and the expressions of seeing your fans and audience members touched and moved. Like it makes every moment of life just so worth it. So that touring, of course, continuing to build our catalog, collaborations, there are plenty of amazing musicians that we'd love to collaborate with on songs.
Yeah. We're really focusing also right now on honing in on directing everything to our YouTube channel right now. We're going to get really aggressive with that over the spring and summer, continuing into the fall. We would like to see, honestly, growth there, retention, adding more subscribers, not just for numbers, but just because that's the one place where all of everything's worked out. We could do video, you could do updates like community updates, shorts,
Merchandise.
merchandise, and so we find that's our goal. Yeah, anybody that wants to subscribe, they could go to
Yeah, the fa_music. That's our page. So
right.
definitely subscribe, and we've got lots of content coming.
Yeah, we're going to be very, very aggressive with that, with sincere content and content, whatever. But that's just going to be our point of communication moving forward.
What about other social media links, Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, we have an Instagram. It's the fa_music as well, at the fa_music. So we'd love for you to join us there. Same thing with the Facebook. It's the same handle. So join them all. We'd love to
Yeah.
have you everywhere because we are constantly putting stuff out and
Yeah.
want to share.
Yeah, we're going to start working on some merch over the spring and summer. That's where the YouTube channel is going to come into play, because we're at enough now where we could open up a store. Um, like I said earlier, like everything is in the hands of the artist, and we love it. We're going to take full advantage of all that. We really want to connect with people, and that's how we can do it. Until we get the opportunities to go perform live again, which is the ultimate goal. But until then, you can see us periodically on YouTube first, and then the other social media platforms such as Instagram.
And you know what? I was checking out your Instagram and I just love the shorts that you guys put up there. It's constant. It's almost every day, if not every day, and it just for me, it gives me that personable feel, like you're welcoming everyone.
That's
Thank you.
wonderful
That's
to
our
hear.
goal.
That's
Thank you.
exactly the
Yeah.
goal. And, just to be real and raw, you know?
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying about your YouTube, if someone who hasn't heard a single yet from the Fa, what's the one song you would want them to play first? And
It's tough, but check out Scarlet Letter. It's our newest release. It's emotionally charged, it's dynamic. It tells a really interesting story, and it's really pinpoints, where we're at musically. And if you like that, then you'll like what's coming.
Yeah. Great answer. Yeah.
Music keeps you young. So
I'm glad you guys got each other and you guys are also in a band together making great music both personally and professionally together.
thank you so
Thank you.
much. And thank you for having
Thank
us.
you
It's
for
really
having
joy
us.
talking to you and
Yeah.
meeting you. Make sure to
Okay.
connect with us
Yes.
because we want to stay
Yeah.
connected.
Let's stay in
So,
touch.
Absolutely, guys. And hopefully you guys will be coming to Pittsburgh at some point.
we will.
Yeah. I love Pittsburgh. Hard town to drive in, but yeah.
Yeah, don't get me started with that. All right, Mike, Amy, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. I appreciate you guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of the Youth Gone Mild podcast. I'm Gen X Joe, your host. I just want to give props to Amy and Mike of the Fa. Man, listen, please check out Amy and the Fa on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even if you don't hear one of their songs, you just got to hear her voice as she is warming up with operatic style. Man, it is so moving. I never realized how remarkable someone is with just natural talent. Just to go out there and warm up and to hear her voice. It's captivating. And Mike's a good guitarist too. Can't take away that. Sorry, Mike. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening to the Youth Gone Mild podcast. I am Gen X Joe. And as I always say, rock loud, live proud. Peace out. Props everyone for listening. Youth Gone Mild!